Prehistory refers to the vast period of human history for which no written records or records are available. This period before the invention of writing is called prehistory or prehistory. According to archaeology and anthropology, humans appeared on Earth about 2.5 million years ago. However, writing is generally considered to have been invented around 3000 BC. This invention represents a qualitative difference between the functioning of human societies and the way we later observers understand them. The invention of writing allowed for systematic record-keeping, complex governance, codified laws, and the preservation and transmission of abstract thought in ways that were not possible through oral tradition or material culture alone. Thus, the transition from prehistoric to historical times marks a profound leap in human organizational capacity and intellectual development, enabling the formation of larger, more complex civilizations, such as Sumer, the Indus Valley, and ancient Egypt. Due to the absence of written history, the study of prehistoric times is entirely dependent on archaeological and anthropological evidence, such as material remains, human remains, and archaeological excavations. This highlights the limitations of our knowledge and the nature of interpretation, which are different from the knowledge of historical periods obtained from textual sources. About 99% of the period of human history is included in this prehistoric period. This vast period made possible the evolution of mankind, technological advances, the development of social structures, belief systems, and the emergence of art. It helps us understand the fundamental changes that laid the foundation for modern society. The timing of the end of prehistory varies from region to region. For example, in Egypt, the prehistory period ends around 3000 BC, whereas in New Guinea it ends in the 1870s. This variation immediately suggests that technological and social progress, particularly the adoption of writing, was not uniform across the globe. This variation may be due to geographical isolation, different environmental pressures, different availability of resources, or distinct cultural trajectories. It highlights that progress was not a linear, universal phenomenon, but rather a complex local process influenced by numerous factors, including contact with other cultures. This nuance is crucial to avoiding a Eurocentric or monolithic narrative of human development. Chronological division of prehistory. Prehistory is divided into three main periods: the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age, named after the major technologies used during the period. This division is used for most of Eurasia and North Africa, but is not universally applicable to parts of the world where contact with Eurasian cultures led to the sudden introduction of hard metalworking, such as Oceania, Australia, and much of sub-Saharan Africa. This suggests that technological advances, such as metallurgy, were not always invented independently in each region, but rather often spread through cultural contact, trade, or migration. This means that while some key developments, such as the use of stone tools, may have arisen independently, later stages of technological evolution, especially the Metal Ages, were heavily influenced by diffusion. It challenges a purely internal development model for all societies and emphasizes the importance of intergroup interactions in shaping the prehistoric era. Stone Age. The Stone Age began about 2.5 million years ago and ended with the introduction of metallurgy about 5,000 years ago, 3300 BC. This period is divided into three distinct periods: the Paleolithic period, the Mesolithic period, and the Neolithic period. The evolution of tools from simple chipped stone to polished stone and then to metal reflects humans' continuing desire for efficiency and effectiveness over their environment, which directly influenced subsistence strategies and social complexity. Paleolithic Age. The Paleolithic Age spanned from about 2.5 million years ago to 10,000 BC, although some sources date the period from 3.3 million years ago to 11,650 years ago. This period is marked by the first use of stone tools, the progression from rudimentary hammerstones and flakes, Oldowan toolkit 2.6 million years ago, Tanzania, to more refined hand axes, blades, and microliths shows increasing sophistication in stone tool technology. It was not simply a matter of making sharp tools, it was also a matter of making more efficient tools for specific tasks, such as hunting small animals or processing animal hides. All weapons of this period were made entirely of stone. Bone, ivory, and horn were also experimented with towards the end of the Stone Age. For example, harpoon points, bone, ivory needles, bone flutes, and chisel-like stone flakes for carving wood, horn, or bone are among the tools of the end of this period. The Old Stone Age is divided into the Lower, Middle, and Upper Paleolithic based on the type of tools used and the climatic conditions. Lower Paleolithic Age. This period extended until 100,000 BC. The oldest stone tools have been found at the Lomekwe site in Kenya, dating back to about 3.3 million years ago. The Peking and Javanese people are notable human species of this period. Although the controlled use of fire during this period is debated, evidence of fire use has been found at the Beno Yaakov Bridge in Israel, dating back 690,000 years ago. Middle Paleolithic Age. This period extended from 100,000 BC to 40,000 BC. Homo sapiens appeared about 300,000 years ago. Specific evidence of fire use is found in Zambia, dating back 180,000 years ago. Modern language skills began to develop during this period. Upper Paleolithic Age. This period spanned from 40,000 BC to 10,000 BC, or 50,000 to 12,000 years ago. Organized settlements and art developed during this period. Humans during this period were nomadic hunter-gatherers. Their diet consisted mainly of animal flesh, fruits, and plants. They learned to use stones as tools. The major discovery of this period was fire. The control of fire was a fundamental technological advance that profoundly reorganized human biology, diet, social interaction, and environmental adaptation, which was a prerequisite for many subsequent advances. Fire has been referred to as a major discovery and a crucial turning point of the Old Stone Age. Its use extended beyond just warmth. Cooking food made it more digestible, possibly contributing to brain development and a reduction in the size of the digestive system. Warmth enabled humans to live in cold climates. Light extended daily activities beyond daylight, potentially facilitating social bonding and storytelling. Protection from predators reduced vulnerability. Control of fire also provided a means of modifying the environment. Early controversial evidence for the use of fire suggests a long period of experimentation before complete control. This control was not just a tool but a fundamental change in human-environment interactions, paving the way for more complex social structures and eventually agriculture. Lower Paleolithic Age. This period extended until 100,000 BC. The oldest stone tools have been found at the Lomekwe site in Kenya, dating back to about 3.3 million years ago. The Peking and Javanese people are notable human species of this period. Although the controlled use of fire during this period is debated, evidence of fire use has been found at the Beno Yaakov Bridge in Israel, dating back 790,000 years ago. Middle Paleolithic Age. This period extended from 100,000 BC to 40,000 BC. Homo sapiens appeared about 300,000 years ago. Specific evidence of fire use is found in Zambia, dating back 180,000 years ago. Modern language skills began to develop during this period. Upper Paleolithic Age. This period spanned from 40,000 BC to 10,000 BC, or 50,000 to 12,000 years ago. Organized settlements and art developed during this period. The Neolithic period spanned from 6,000 to 1,000 BC, or began around 6,000 BC. This period is marked by the Neolithic Revolution, in which humans transitioned from a nomadic hunter-gatherer life to a settled agricultural society. This transition was not just about food production, it was a systemic change. Agriculture allowed for food surpluses, which supported larger, denser populations and led to settled lifestyles. Settlement, in turn, enabled the accumulation of wealth, more complex social stratification, and the need for new forms of governance. The shift from the egalitarian life of hunter-gatherer groups to a stratified agricultural society was a direct result of this economic change. The major developments of this period include the beginning of large-scale agriculture, wheat, raji, horse gram, the discovery of fire, the construction of permanent houses of earth and straw, the use of pottery for storing crops, first handmade, later using the wheel, the invention of the wheel, the spread of the weaving industry, the emergence of villages and states, the beginning of a class system, a self-sufficient economy, the introduction of the barter system, and the introduction of private property and inheritance. During this period, tools were made by rubbing and polishing, which was an improvement over the earlier flaking method. The development of pottery and the wheel in the Neolithic period marked an important shift towards permanence, surplus management, and specialized crafts, which were essential for the growth of early villages and urban centers. Pottery is directly linked to the agricultural revolution, as it required a solution for preserving surplus food production. It allowed cooking methods other than direct fire, improving the quality of food. The invention of the potter's wheel signaled a move towards more efficient and specialized production, leading to early forms of craftsmanship and possibly trade. Similarly, the wheel was transformative for transportation and perhaps pottery, enabling greater efficiency in farming and distribution. These innovations are not isolated. They are signs and enablers of a settled agrarian way of life, where communities could accumulate resources, specialize labor, and manage larger populations, which laid the foundation for the rise of the village, and later, the state. The Bronze Age lasted from 3300 to 1200 BC, or from 3000 to 1300 BC. It marked the end of the Stone Age. During this period, people began to make tools and weapons from bronze, an alloy of copper and tin, which replaced stone tools. Bronze was harder, more durable, and stronger than stone. The Harappans used mainly bronze tools. Kingdoms and empires emerged during this period. The wheel and ox-drawn plows were invented. Class distinctions and slavery were introduced in society. People began to migrate and trade. Proto-writing or early writing systems began. There were significant developments in architecture and art.
The Iron Age lasted from 1200 BC to 600 BC, or from 1300 BC to 900 BC. It followed the Bronze Age. During this period, people in Europe, Asia, and parts of Africa began to make weapons from iron and steel, replacing those made from bronze. This technological advancement brought about significant changes in Indian society and other regions, including the growth of agriculture and the development of urban centers. Iron was considered more valuable than gold at the time. The arrival of the Aryans occurred during this period.